Happy Monday to you, and thanks for joining Dana's Daily Doodles. I'm going to start with a simple spaghetti sauce, which is a little bit of a cheater sauce. So we're going in with almost a pound of Italian sausage, and they make it there. Okay, let's get the pound of the Italian sausage in there. Come on. Come out. Don't really want to get my hands all yucky right now because I got to touch everything else, but I actually have to wash this hand. I don't want to touch my seasoning. Okay, real life. I don't know how everybody does it, and it looks so perfect when other cooks do everything. So we have the pound of ground beef and a pound of Italian sausage. Get this chopped up a little bit more. It's about a quarter of an onion, I would say. And my garlic press is still on the fritz. I don't know, I might just have to throw it away. It's just weirdly turning black and it won't clean. I put it through the dishwasher and I guess it like ruined it. Okay, so let's get this onion in because we're going to saute this. Step one of spaghetti sauce. Okay, and then you know how garlic will scorch, so don't put that in yet. And let's get this going. We're going to start this off on medium to medium low. And I'm going to show you all the different seasonings I'm going to put in. So the first one is a helping hand. Try this, you might really love it. And a lot of people use a jar when they're short on time. I tend to grab this. And it's just got great seasonings, like I said in a different video. And you'll still need some garlic powder. We are going to do fresh garlic. I'm going to chop it. You're going to do a pinch of salt, onion powder. Of course, you're going to do quite a bit of Italian seasoning. Italian seasoning, you can do it separately if you don't have this mix. Oregano, basil, marjoram, sage, garlic. That's Italian seasoning. You can just go with basil if you don't really like the flavors in that. Always basil. You can go with the oregano, the basil, the onion powder, and garlic if you want to stay away from that full Italian. And then a couple bay leaves. I always put a little bit of Lowry's seasoning in it. Taste it though, because you know your salt level. How much salt does this have in it? Third ingredient, so before I add that in, I'll taste. And then a classic tomato sauce, and then I'm going to put in a big jar of like a crushed tomato, or if they're not crushed, I'll crush them in with my hand. And then I'm going to chop up some olives. I have a little bit of zucchini left. I'm going to put some zucchini in there and let all that come together. First things first, let's get this browned up, get the grease off, and then we'll start adding in. I'm going to need to chop that. This guy. Italian sausage and hamburger tend to be kind of firm. Hamburger is much more forgiving and softer. You can do it with a spatula. But when they came out with this, it makes things easier. And then try and get all of your onion integrated into your meat. This is a big pot, so that's a lot of meat. Wow. We're not that big of meat eaters in our spaghetti. I'm not sure if I'm going to take part of it out, or we'll see once I get it all browned. Getting done, a little bit longer here. Gonna have a lot of grease to get out. Not a lot, but a good amount, which is normal. Let's let this go. I would say at least a solid 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so we got this totally drained, and I checked it. Looks good, good, good. And so next we're going to put in this, I'd say about a cup and a half or so of the fresh mushrooms. And then I have this delicious garlic from a local marketplace. It's kind of like a little veggie stand. Give it a small chop. Get that in. Okay. And I always drain my, for the most part, if there's quite a bit of it, my oil off in a can. But if I didn't have a can, so I was like, well, then I will use the dog can that was rinsed out from this morning. It's oil, you know. Put the can in the sink and just pour it out with the lid on the top, excuse me. Okay, get that kind of mixed up there. And we're going to put in a can of tomato sauce. And yes, on the, keep this to add water. Yes, on tomato paste. But if you're not using tomato paste, then you need to back off on your water. So tomato paste, you would put, say, 2 1/4 cups of water with this packet. And if it's tomato sauce, then you decrease your water to about 1 cup. So we're going to put this in and mix everything up. This also helps the thickening process. Probably a little bit of cornstarch in it. And get this mixed. Okay, I know that you can't really see, but I'll show you as we go in little stages here. Okay, so I got those two. And then in regards to your oregano, you probably want to go easy because oregano is strong. So let's say 1/2 to 3/4 of a teaspoon. And if you want to give it a little crush on its way out, that will get your spices kind of opened up and ready to season up. Okay, so this Italian, we need quite a bit of that. So you might not like it as much, but I really like it. So I'm going to pour in about almost 2 tablespoons or so. Give it a little crush. And add that in. And then we're going to do a teaspoon of just garlic granules. Never can have enough garlic. That's me. Might not be you, but I'll probably add in more. And then I'm going a whole, almost heaping 1.5 teaspoons of your onion granule. Okay, so one of my favorite, and I have a big container. I'm going to need to get it out. I'm going to put in the garlic in here. That ended up being about, I want about 2 tablespoons. So let me go get that large container out. Okay, a couple bay leaves. Let's mix this around. Then we're going to put some water in. Get this back up to a simmer. Good simmer. Now, everything needs to kind of meet each other. All these little friends in here need to marry. Okay. Now, I filled up this can. And this 15 or so ounce can. And if it does need thickening, I have some frozen cornstarch that, not cornstarch, tomato paste. I was going to say because it has a little bit of cornstarch in it, it'll probably simmer and thicken, and I'll watch it. But at this stage, it's looking pretty good. I have a couple of tomatoes I can use up and put in here, but to me it looks like it's going to need some tomato paste, like I said. I'm going to check in the freezer. But let's get this up to a good rolling, light boil, simmer type thing. And get it turned down once it meets that. Now, very, very important. Do not forget to add in a little bit of sugar. You just have to. This is a big pot, so I'm going with these 3 little teeny tiny teaspoons. So altogether, maybe that was a full teaspoon, teaspoon and a half. You have to have it in red sauce. And then you have to taste. But this is going to be on here for about 40 minutes. And then I'm going to come back and see what I need to do, because you can't really taste it at this stage. Let me look. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put in a little more of this basil that I crushed. And then I'm going to keep it right here in case I need more. I tend to go more so on the basil. But I also like Italian seasoning, so I don't know where the sage comes in. I guess it all comes together. But there is a little bit of sage in Italian seasoning. Oregano is very strong, so be careful with that. Okay, I've had it simmering like this for just so many minutes, and it came together enough to where I could taste it, and it's good. It definitely needs this amount more of Italian seasoning. So we're going to get that stirred in, turn it down, and let this simmer for approximately a half an hour. Okay, so I also have these couple of tomatoes that went a little bit soft, throwing them in. This little bit of zucchini, which is perfectly fine, but I love it in sauce. But this is not traditional by any means. But like my one friend says, you do you, whatever you love, okay? And I don't really love this knife because I keep sharpening it and it's not being nice, but I've had it for a long, long time. What's a long time? Let's see, 30 years. But it just needs to be, I think, almost professionally sharpened. Anyhow, so let's just cut up, get these in there, but not quite yet. Oops. A little bit of stem. And I might even cut these up a little bit smaller. If you wanted to, you could have sauteed this with your meat. I just thought about it last minute. It'll be good though. Okay, let's go ahead and get this in. the zucchini and tomato. Believe me, this is not Sunday sauce, so if you're Italian, I definitely know that. This is midweek spaghetti sauce, cheater style. But here's the thing, I can make a really good Sunday sauce. So at some point I'll show you that too. Now, give this a stir. And give this another 20 minutes. Let me give it one taste here. Yeah, that's good. I can put the rest, well, no. I'll put about a half a teaspoon more of the basil in. Cooking in layers. Start with your first tasting or whatever you want to call it in steps. And then see what you have at each step. Okay, 20 minutes.